So I wanted to send a quick thank you to everyone who has agreed to do these interviews for the Writing Interviewing series that began sometime in December. And now it's the middle of April. And so it's been December, January, February, March, April, like 5 months. And I have maybe 86 interviews that I've done. Which I'm really excited about. I'm really happy that people have taken the time. It's generally about 10 to 15 minutes on Zoom. It tends to go really fast, but it's very informative, and it's been really great listening to people who have been dedicated, within these different writing styles in which I simply haven't done much of. I mean, I'm mostly a prose writer, generally fiction. I stick mostly to genre fiction, but I've been interviewing people who do literary fiction, who do poetry, who do essays, micro essays, as memoir essays, who done scripts, articles, columnists, and so it's been a really informative experience. I have done a lot more poetry and a lot more essay writing over the past 2 or 3 months. The poetry has been really cool. I've been trying different forms actually. So I think I started with sonnets, and then I went to acrostics, which I know is generally done for students in school, but I found it to be pretty cool to do. Villanelles, sestinas. The one I probably enjoy the most, honestly, are the ballads. I've done 2 ballads, and I have those submitted. I have them all submitted. 2 have been accepted. One is coming out next month. Another one's coming out in early 2022, so that one's gonna be a long way off. But the ballads have probably been the most fun because they're more similar to how a story actually goes. The language is fairly simple. There's a rhyme scheme to it, which does constrain it, but still, it's writing a narrative in a kind of more lyrical, sing-song way, which I actually found to be quite enjoyable, to be honest. And so I look forward to people reading those 2 ballads, as well as the other poetry poems that I've done. I've done 2 micro memoirs between about 5 to 10 pages each. And I can see now why it is that sometimes, this is for the poems too, there are ideas that I have that I think I would like to put into a story, but they don't really always work that well. They may work as a scene, but they will never work as a complete story, a short story, or even a flash fiction. Definitely not a novella, definitely not a novel. They just work as scenes or just moments. But these instances that I think of sometimes work really well as a poem, because with fiction, what I tend to tell my students is that you start off simple and then you make it more complex over time. I think that's how the best fiction stories tend to be built. With a poem, you can start with something complex and then make it simple. And I think that's really a cool thing to do, honestly. It's kind of the opposite of the way a story would tend to successfully operate. And the same thing with a micro essay. With micro essays, you could just speak more plainly about experience instead of having to put it into like a plot and then like dialogue and characters and have a way in which it's going, and a character arcs and all this kind of thing. That's really not I don't think it's as important in micro memoirs. You could do it, just speak more plainly about the experience itself. And so I've had all these submitted, and we'll see how they end up going over the next several months. And so I would like to really thank everyone who has taken the time to interview. I really appreciate it. And I'm at 86 now, and keep going up. So thank you, and have a good day or night wherever you are. Goodbye.